Hello, my name is Paloma.
I'm Vanessa,
My name is John.
and today we will be talking about category learning in the peripheral vision. So we make category judgments every single day. For example, whether or not a person is a friend or foe.
And whether or not a frog is poisonous or not.
Another example is Donald Trump. Is he a serious candidate, or is for him running for presidency just a publicity stunt?
So making these category judgments leads us to our project goals, which is to determine if the left and right visual fields are being trained independently during categorization. So when we think of categorization, specifically in the visual field, we think of it as no matter where the stimulus is, whether in the center, which is the fovea, or the outside, which is the left and right peripheral vision, it all goes to the same little decision-making neuron. So let's keep in mind that it's not specifically one neuron, it's more like a group of neurons that make the decision, but it's easier to think of it as being one neuron. So no matter where the stimulus is, it goes to that one neuron. Our hypothesis is if perhaps the different locations go to different neurons. So the stimulus that appears on the left goes to a different neuron than the stimulus that appears on the right.
And for our experimental method, we will be using Gabordis. The Gabordis look similar to this, but not exactly the same. And our subjects will be human subjects, and they will learn how to categorize these discs into categorization A or categorization B. And these discs will also vary on based on 2 dimensions. So these are a couple examples on how these discs will look like. The left top is considered categorization A. The right bottom will be category B. And these discs will vary as bar width and rotation. And keep in mind, these discs have already been predetermined to which fits into category A and which belongs into category B. And our subjects will have to determine in which it belongs to by trial and error.
So this is how the experiment works. We have the subjects come in, they sit in front of a computer screen, and they perceive this plus sign in the middle, which is known as the fixation point. That is the point where the subjects will concentrate their focus on throughout the experiment. So when the experiment begins, the subject will see a disc that's going to appear for a brief moment, either on the left or on the right side of the screen. So from there, the subjects will decide based on the width and angle of the black stripes, what category does the disc belong in. Either it's category A or category B. When the subjects make the selection, the computer will let the subject know as if the subject either correctly or incorrectly categorized the disc. So in the beginning, the subjects may feel as if they are guessing, but as they progress throughout the experiment, they will have a better idea of how to categorize the disc. So what we're trying to get the subjects to learn to the experiment is the disc that they normally categorize as A from the left side will be categorized as B from the right. And the disc that they categorize as B from the left side would be categorized as A on the right. Okay, so here are the results of our data. On the x-axis, you see our blocks from 1 to 10, and each block consists of 50 trials. So when the subjects begin the test, they will start off at block 1, and then after they go through the 50 trials on that block, they will continue on to block 2, and then block 3, and then so on until they reach block 10. On the y-axis is the proportion correct, which is the number of times the subject answered correctly over the total number of trials. So as you can see here, all these different colored lines that are all clustered together, they represent a plot of the subject's accuracy of how well they did throughout the experiment. So as we move throughout the x-axis, those are just the subjects going through the experiment as they go through each block. So what we see on the y-axis, whatever is plotted there, we can see how accurate the subjects are on that block. So see here would be a clearer picture of how the results are doing. That blue line represents the average of all the subjects. And that red dotted line you see across the screen is known as a point of chance. And what that is, assuming that the subject decides to select A on each of the trials throughout the experiment, it will have a 50% chance of getting the trials correct. So as you notice, the blue line is just moving along the point of chance. Well, what that means is that the subjects are not really learning the experiment, because if they are, there should be on the blue line, kind of like a rising trend as they go across the x-axis, because when they go through the blocks, on the later blocks, they should be able to get more of the trials correct compared to the earlier blocks.
So based on our results, we learned that the subjects were not able to learn to categorize the disc correctly. So our data did not support our hypothesis. However, there is still a possibility that the left side and the right side are being trained somewhat independently, just not completely independently. So the somewhat